Hey guys, how's it going? It is a gorgeous morning. I'm out here so early. Everyone is still asleep. Jalen has been here for a couple days now. She's been helping us pack orders. I'm filming this on Sunday. And so Saturday was a crazy day. That was so wild. That was so much fun on our end. I hope you guys enjoyed the merchandise launch. And so much energy had gone into the thought process of every product that we put onto our merchandise store. And it looks like you guys really enjoyed it. We spent all day long packing orders. We didn't go to sleep last night until about midnight. It was just wild. So it was a lot of fun, and I just really appreciate all of you guys who showed up and ordered packages, and those of you guys that just even checked out the website or who left comments. I just really appreciate it. A lot of things have sold out. The Not My Rooster hat is sold out. The plant tag is sold out. A lot of sizes are sold out. You guys are amazing. There is still stuff available. The tan shirts, there are still, I believe, almost every size available. And then the blue shirts, there are some sizes available. And then there are a ton of these hats available still. I totally thought these would be gone. I was so nervous for the Not My Rooster hats to still be in stock. I was like, I'm gonna get stuck with like 40 of these Not My Rooster hats. I was like, I'm so nervous about that, and they sold out. I will gladly be stuck with a bunch of these ones. These ones I have no problem being stuck with. I was so nervous to get stuck with the Not My Rooster ones, and I can't believe that so many of you guys were so excited about that. It really just warms my little heart. And then same with the plant tags. I did put in, because those sold out really fast, and I did put in a message to the company who made them. They're a very small company. It is like a husband and wife, and I think it's like her 2 or 3 kids that make them. And so I sent her a message to order more of those because those sold out the absolute fastest. I think it was like an hour and a half and they were sold out. And like some of the shirts that were the blue color, some of those sizes were selling out within like 20, 30 minutes. It was a whirlwind of a day. We started packing orders immediately at like 8:01 a.m. because that's when the first order came in. So just a big, huge thank you to all of you guys. It was a wild ride. Let's jump into the Q&A for this week. We've put 15 videos up in a row. It's been crazy. I've been pumping out content and getting the store ready, and I've just kind of had it like this energy to just go and push out videos and just do it. And so you guys got to see yesterday our garden tour. I think you guys are gonna see me doing plant shopping with Janie. And I don't think that I said what I bought. So I bought a fountain right there. It's the cutest little bubbler. It's from Campania. I mean, it's so gorgeous. I got a killer deal on this thing, and it just is really nice to have over here. I really have loved it. And then I bought an evergreen tree and some other plants, and you guys will see that later this week. I filmed a video with Jalen planting all of that up, which if you guys don't know, I film all my videos over the course of like 4 days, and it's like we pump out videos. So some days I have to film 2 videos in a row, and because I have another job, so I can't film those days. So we push out as much video as we can, and then during the week is when I get to edit, like on my lunch breaks or things like that. So you guys will see everything that I did buy. I just forgot to show it in the video of Janie being with me. So yeah, it was a good week. Let's get into this. That was a tangent, and that is Not My Rooster, just a reminder. Okay, last week was actually a lot going on. Holy cow. I've hung out with Janie multiple times, and I'm getting ready to hang out with Janie again. Oh my gosh, we've never hung out this much in such a short period of time. Okay. Okay, last week was last Q&A, and then I did planting at Janie's house without her permission. We did the private garden tour of landscape designer Leslie Bennett, and then touring a cottage garden that dreams are made of, an exciting announcement, which is the merchandise launch, planting a variegated Brunnera, red coleus, and black petunias, and as I am filming this, the summer garden tour video is currently live, which I highly suggest checking out. Janie came and she has filmed a garden tour also, and that's going to be up on Saturday on her channel, I believe. Saturday or Sunday, whatever day it is, she does her garden tours. And mine and hers are very different, and hers has a surprise in it. It has the plans for what I plan to do this winter time and this fall, and why certain projects haven't been finished. So you guys will get to hear plans that I've not talked about on the channel yet. All right, so the very first video was, am I worried about toxic plants and how are beneficial insects working out? That was the Q&A, and I'm just gonna pull 2 questions from this video. There wasn't a whole lot, but I'm gonna grab a couple of them. The first question on that video was from Nancy, and she had said, "Hi Robbie, I love the fuchsia over your right shoulder. When I was a kid living in Northern California, my mom had several standard fuchsias planted directly in the ground in her side yard. They were beautiful. Have you ever thought about trying some in your stunning side yard? Thanks for keeping it real." I actually, until very, very recently, did not like them at all. And I now have one of them, which is actually just out of view, and it is currently blooming still. And when I had gone down to Leslie Bennett's house and done her garden tour, she had one that was planted in her side yard, and she's training it to be a standard, but like have it like train over. So you kind of walk underneath it, and I thought that that was the coolest thing ever. So as this one gets a little too big for that container, which it's probably about there, this fall I'll probably need to transplant it, I'm thinking that I might put it in the side yard. I've got an area that's full shade that could use a pop of color with something that's blooming all the time, and that would be really, really pretty. So actually, after seeing hers, I think I'm going to put that one on the landscape, maybe this fall or winter time. And the last question that I'm going to pull from that video is from Jennifer, and she had said, "Good morning, Robbie and Brent. Is that a trailing a Buton behind you? I tried to start from seed, and they did nothing." It is not. That was the fuchsia. And I would like to grow that plant. I have killed probably 3 of them, but that was at our old house, and I never tried here. And I know that they're like higher zone only, and they're pretty finicky from at least what I understand. I don't have a good suggestion on what to do about that, because I'm looking it up because like I said, I have tried to grow multiple times and killed them. I actually tried, there's like an orange one that I tried, and I really wanted it to grow. I like the shapes of the leaves, and I love the flowers. Just kind of a rough plant. It does say hardy in zones 8 through 10. In cooler climates, they can be grown as an annual and overwintered indoors. So if you are in a lower zone, that might be why. Also, it says that they want sun and well-draining soil. But it says that they will tolerate loamy and sandy soil. So it also sounds like they want well-draining soil. So if there's too much moisture, that also could have been your problem. Let's see about starting it from seed. Okay, quick research. If you're going to grow that, you need to soak the seeds for 8 hours prior to planting them. You need to also make sure that they are wrapped in saran wrap, so that way they stay very humid. They want to stay, it's a seed that needs to stay wet. And you also need to lightly cover with soil or not cover at all. So like just place it directly in the soil. So if you buried those seedlings and nothing came up, that might be why. It doesn't sound like they need light to germinate, but you really don't want to cover them with any soil. And it said that you should see germination in 7 to 10 days, and make sure that they stay wet while germinating. So that could have been the issue. The next video that we did was planting in Janie's garden without her permission, and that was fun because I had to sneak around while planting, so that way she didn't catch on to me planting. I had like filmed the beginning of the video, and then she was getting ready. She was like getting ready to film the garden tour, and she was getting the mics, and she was getting the tripods, and she was getting everything while I was picking out plants. And I had put all the plants in one of the gorilla carts, and I had brought it over to where I had planted the Vermillionaire, which was by my car. And so I had just left the wagon behind my car when I heard her coming out. So that way she didn't see the wagon over there, and she had no clue. And then we went to the back, and that's where we filmed her garden tour. She's like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm just checking things out." And we filmed her garden tour, and then after that she had gone inside to clean up. We were so hot after that garden tour, it was awful. And then I went and I planted everything, and her and Jason were actually finishing up filming kind of by the shed. They were finishing filming one video, and so it was the perfect time for me to sneak around and get these things planted. And when they had finished filming, that is when I had started showing you guys everything. So it was actually perfect timing, and she actually had no clue. First question on that video was from Peggy, and she had said, "Did you and Janie stay up really late talking about gardening?" we stayed up really late editing videos, which was talking about gardening. So yeah, when I'm over there or when she's here, we have a really hard time not talking about gardening or not talking about YouTube and editing videos and filming videos. So that's what we did. I think it was like 11 o'clock at night when we had decided to start uploading our video for the next morning, which I don't even remember which video it was, but it was like 11 o'clock when both of us had to start uploading our videos because we realized that we had chatted and we had gardened, and then we went out to dinner and chatted at dinner about gardening, and we didn't have videos uploaded, so it was 11 o'clock. So it was a really long day. And the last question on that video was from Judy, and she had said, is Janie going to have to rip all those plants out and rough up their roots and replant them? You guys, I didn't realize that I do not at all rough roots up. Like, I don't do it ever at all, and I didn't realize like I don't do it until this last week when I've gotten so many comments the last like week and a half that I do not do that, and I now will be doing it, don't worry. My plants tend to rebound, they tend to be fine. I will be roughing up the roots. I tend to not do it, I think because I do it when things are severely root bound, but I just kind of like forget about it. If we're being completely honest, I'm so focused on, okay, let's get this planted. What is the angle? It's hot out here. I don't want to be sweaty. Make sure that my shirt is pulled down. And how does it look when I'm putting the plants in the ground? So my brain isn't even anymore about like, okay, the proper way to plant, which I need to be better about that. So this week, you guys will see videos of me planting things in the ground, and I actually roughed the roots up. I'm doing better. And the next video that we did was the private garden tour of landscape designer Leslie Bennett. Wasn't that so much fun? That was crazy. I feel so lucky to be able to be invited into her private garden, which there are photos of it in her book that she had written. But just to like be able to actually go there and film it, photos and videos are so different. And then also to be able to see it in person is just, it was a real treat. It was so much fun. So let's get into it. First question was from Keely, and she had said, this was fantastic. Leslie seems like so much fun. How did you meet her at Monrovia? I can see her hanging out with you and Janie. Very enjoyable tour. Thanks so much. We did meet at Camp Monrovia. She was invited down there, and when we had gone out to dinner, I actually ended up just sitting directly across from her, and we ended up just chatting a ton while we were there. She was telling us about the book that she was writing that was coming out. It hadn't come out at the time, and everyone was just chatting at that dinner. It was a lot of fun. So that's how we met, was at Camp Monrovia. The last question on that video was from Barbara, and she had said, was that an AC unit in the window? I thought you don't need AC in the Bay Area. Much cooler temperatures than up here in far northern California. A lot of places don't have AC, but a lot of places do have AC down there. It still gets like 80s and 90s down there. So she was saying that they had just had like a heat swell of like 91 or something like that, and I was like, I beg for days that are 91 in the summertime. So yes, it is much cooler, but they still get hot down there. So a lot of places do have window units because a lot of places down there don't have central heat in there. And the next video that we did was touring a cottage garden that dreams were made of, and this was also a garden that Leslie Bennett had designed and is in her book. And that one was actually really stunning. That was so like up my alley. That was the one that I was like, I vibe with this garden a lot. The raised garden beds, the metal trellises, the freeness of a lot of things, but then also there was like little touches of formality. I couldn't get it on camera, but where the table was like a little potager, which was a very formal like hedge of a plant. I can't remember the name of the plant, but there was like little touches of formality and a lot of freeness, and a rose garden, which I love roses. So that one I really resonated with. There was also finch, which, I mean, come on. It was stunning. So the very first question on that video was from Nita, and she had said, thanks for the tours, Robbie. Question, are they all in your area? They are about 3 hours away from me. So they are in the Bay Area, which is close to about 3 hours, so not close at all. That's why I stayed at Janie's house, because it was still like an hour and a half away from Janie's house. I was gonna stay the night in the Bay Area, but then I decided to go hang out with Janie instead. The next question on that video was from Daisy, and she had said, I must have missed the first garden tour and didn't understand, is this the client's garden, which she has them maintain and has open to the public? Such a beautiful garden. It is one of her clients' gardens, and this was the second garden in this series. There's another one that's going to come out this week, which I'm also really excited about. It's very different than the first two that you guys have seen, but it was still really gorgeous, and it is not open to the public. It is just a private garden that we got to go sneak around and go check out. It was really cool. The owner actually came down and she chatted with us for probably about 10 or 15 minutes, which was really cool. And the big picture that you guys didn't get to see was that was actually a 5-acre property. We were just in one area. So where we were at was the groundkeeper's cottage. So that wasn't even the main house. This was a separate plot on this property that was kind of tucked away, and this was her, cottage garden, her vegetable garden, where her chickens and the aviaries were. And the rest of her garden was very, very formal and very grand. It was crazy. You go down and it's this completely different garden. It was amazing. So we just were showing just the one area that Leslie Bennett designs, and then her team maintains that one area right there. The next question on that video is from Danielle, and she had said, Robbie, you were so brave with those bees, and then you just stood there. How in the world do you handle that? I thought you were on team ew bugs. There are a lot of bugs that really gross me out. Bees don't gross me out. I don't even mind if bees land on me. Butterflies are really pretty to look at, but they really gross me out. I get heebie-jeebies thinking about it when they land on me. I don't like the feeling of their little teeny tiny legs. It just really grosses me out. I can touch worms, but I gotta feel okay with it. Bees, worms, and I think that might be it. Other than that, I don't want to touch a bug. I don't want to touch caterpillars. Caterpillars really gross me out. They make my stomach turn. So there's a lot of things that I won't touch, but bees, I really want bees. If we had more property, when we have more property, putting that out in the universe, I will have bees. So we thought about getting here, and then I was like, this is way too residential to have bees, and that is just so rude to all of my neighbors. So one day we will have bees, and so I knew that those bees had been handled, so I wasn't even worried about them stinging me. They're trying to get back to their hive. And the last question on that video was from GJMW, and they had said, the gardens that you have shown are so nice. Have you gotten an itch to make changes in your garden since viewing these gardens? I sure have. And that is the plan this fall time, is to create rooms. I don't have any rooms in my garden. You step out on the back patio and you see everything for what it is. And so I need to create privacy, and I need to create rooms and little oasis, just so you can't see everything all at one glance. So that is my plan. You guys will see some of the plan on Janie's garden tour, so make sure you check that out. I think I already said that, but you guys will see kind of a big plan and a question that I do get asked a lot, so I answer a few things. And the next video that we did was exciting announcement, and of course a little planting, because what is a garden channel without a little planting? And that was the merchandise launch preview. That was the 24 hours before the merchandise had gone live. And then we planted a couple things, it was a good day. First question on that video was from Sea Duster, and they had said, do you ever remove the flower stems for your Dusty Miller? I personally don't like the look of it when it flowers. It looks like it's going to seed. It is going to seed, but I do remove them. They actually just got cut back yesterday. Brent was taking a break from packing orders, and he came out and he cut all of the Dusty Miller blooms off. We leave them for a very long time just because the pollinators go crazy for them, and anything that I can do to really help pollinators, I try to keep in my garden, even if it's ugly for a little while. It was only ugly for maybe a month and a half, which I think is fair to give back to the pollinators and their needs. I'll stare at something ugly for a month and a half. So there's a lot of things that I get asked about, like, why am I not removing that, or why am I not cutting that back? And a lot of it is because the pollinators. I really, really care about the bees and the butterflies. I don't want to touch the butterflies, but I do care about them. So they are cut back now because like once like 75% of them start to turn brown, the flowers, then they just get cut back. I'm like, okay, they've gotten most of everything out of that. So they're cut back now. They're flat. You don't have to worry about it. We don't have to stare at the ugly flowers anymore. The new look variety though, if you want one that doesn't flower nearly as fast or as much. So if you're wanting to grow Dusty Miller, I would suggest looking at the New Look variety. It is a little bit slower to grow and a little bit slower to fill out, but it is still really pretty and it doesn't flower as vigorous. The next question on that video is from Yvonne, and she had said, love the merch. Can you put the link to your store below a couple videos? The link to my store is actually in every single video. It's to our website, and when you get on the website, you can hit store, and that's how you'll be able to pull everything up. But if you guys haven't checked out the description down below, there's a lot of information in the description. There are links to some of my favorite products. There's a link to my Amazon storefront, which is things that I share. I try really hard, but not. I kind of try to keep up on that and update that. I need to be a little bit better about that. And so I've got my Amazon store there, which is where I link products to Amazon. I've got my Bootstrap Farmer link. So if you guys order things from Bootstrap Farmer, feel free to click on that link. So that way they know that working with me is actually helpful. Check out my website is on there. Let me see what all is on there because there's a lot on there. Our PO box is on there. My email is on there. So you guys can send me all the letters because I love opening up letters. It's my favorite. It's my favorite thing. Actually, I really love opening up letters. So in the description of every single video, if I talk about a product, I try to link it. So like the garden tours that I did with Leslie Bennett, her book link was linked in that description. Her YouTube channel, her Instagram, her website was all linked in there. So usually I do all of the links here, and then I do these little sunflowers, and this all stays exactly the same, but there's a lot of information down there. So if you just click on the little button down below each video that says more, and then for some reason you have to hit more again, you will see the website, you'll see how to become a channel member, you'll see my Instagram, my Facebook, my TikTok, you'll see Bootstrap, you'll see Amazon, my email, and our mailing address. So there is a ton of information down there. Things get added to that all the time. It is constantly changing. Sometimes I try to link other products, sometimes I take certain products off of my list. So there's just a lot on there. And then I did say channel member. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Subscribing is free. But if you want to become a channel member, which there's a link in this video and every other video, you can become a channel member. There are a few channel members, and it also helps out the channel, but that is a paid service. And to those of you that are already channel members, I really appreciate you. I see all of you, and it actually helps me know who channel members are because you get little emblems next to your name after how long you've been there, and you get special emojis. So there's like an emoji of Freya, I think. There's one of the willow tree. There's one of a flower. There's a dahlia. I think there's a few different emojis. And so, yeah, if you want to become a channel member, it's down there also. But if you haven't subscribed, hit subscribe because that subscribe button is free and it tells YouTube that people are interested in hanging out with me over here. And I'm not going to be doing the garden tour because it is currently live while filming it, and it is very early, so there's not a whole lot happening on it right now because it's very early. I think there's like 50 comments on there, but I don't think there's any questions yet. I'll check really quick after we do this one. So for now, the last video is planting variegated Brunnera, red coleus, and black petunias. So it was awesome stuff that I got in that high hand, and it was just things that really needed to get in the ground. The very first question on that video was from JST Weed, and they had said, does your neighbor like that pokeweed? I had offered to eradicate it for free just to be rid of it. That stuff has the taproot from hell and sends seed all over. It does send seed all over, and those roots, it is a very strong taproot, but personally, I don't hate the look of it. I don't like the berries, so when I start seeing the berries hang over, I start cutting the berries off of it. For me, it kind of creates like a little oasis and blocks the roof on both sides, and it blocks the carport on the other side. So I kind of like the look of it because it's something green to look at over the apple instead of just looking at like a roof line. So I don't hate it. I mean, I hate it, but I don't like hate it enough to want to cut it back. So I do cut it back when the seed pods start to form up, because I don't want those red berries everywhere because they stain like crazy. And then they go to seed like crazy. So it's a conflicting thing, because my neighbors, they would totally let me if I wanted to cut them back. Those ones, they would be like, yeah, do whatever you want, Robbie, we don't care. But I haven't, because I don't hate them. And the last question on the video is a name that I pronounce wrong every time, so please tell me how to pronounce your name, because I want to say like Abby, and then Brent says like Avery. We say it wrong every time, and I know I'm saying it wrong, and I hate YouTube because it doesn't tell me your actual names anymore. It just tells me your username, which like a username can be a combination of people's last names and their first name. It's just, oh, it's frustrating. So tell me your name, please. Good morning, Robbie. It looks great. I haven't seen your front garden for a while. Did you guys finish that flooring? We did finish that flooring. It turned out pretty well. It's not the same color again, but it is much lighter, and so it is much better. And the boards were starting to like kind of buckle a little bit, so Brent had completely sanded it down, so it is dead smooth. So it's really nice now. So it's all finished. Let's see if there are any questions from the garden tour. At this moment, there are 61 comments on the video, and it's been up for just a couple hours. Let's see. So I had done the summer garden tour. The first question on that video was from a friend, and they had said, love all of your gardens. Questions: what is the color of sand you used on your front entry wooden floor? I love it and need that branded color, please. Thanks, Tammy. Tammy, thank you. We used something. I'm gonna pop it up here and the name here. That way you guys know what it is. It did turn out really nice, but it's not the same color as the ceiling. Our ceiling has a little bit red. This has like almost no red undertones to it at all. We did get it from Home Depot, and it was really cheap. And it's like a 2-in-1 stain, and I think that we did 2 coats of that also. And that was definitely an experiment to see if it worked or not. And it was on pine wood. So, you know, like each kind of wood has different tones that they take. So that's what that was. The last question on that video was from Mary, and she had said, hi, Robbie. Thank you for your garden tour. Your garden is stunning. All your hard work has paid off. I'm happy for you. Question: what did you spray on your white chiffon rose of Sharon? So that is what is actually right behind me, and it is in full bloom right now. It is so gorgeous. We spray it with neem oil, and we spray it very early in the season, and that is just to make sure that we don't deal with aphids and we don't deal with mites on that thing, because the last couple years we've been dealing with aphids and mites really badly. So before it even started budding up, I was spraying it with neem oil. Now that it is in full bloom, I've stopped spraying it completely, also because we did release a bunch of beneficial insects, because I don't want to kill the pollinators. So now if the aphids come or whatever, it's going to be totally fine by me. Neem oil is a really great one, and that's the one that we used though. All right, you guys, that is going to be it for this Q&A. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. It was a good Q&A, and it was a really good week, and this week is a even busier week. Like I said, we've been packing orders, so if you haven't had a chance to check out the website, check it out. It's visitourgarden.blog, and there's still some merch available. Certain things have sold out, and we will be restocking the It's Fine plant tags, because you guys really seem to enjoy that. And to those of you that bought like 5 or 6 of them, that is so awesome. I can't wait. I want to know what you did with them. Let me know if they're going to be like stocking stuffers, or if you've got friends that you're planning to give them to, or if you just needed 5 of them for around the house for certain plants. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.